welcome back to the channel. I'm Stephanie with Chubby Girl in the World, and today we're going to be trying out some new Colourpop makeup. I am so excited. So most of these things I have either tried out before this channel and kind of have an idea of how they work. The lipstick, the Seven Springs lipstick, which is this beautiful kind of Sierra, kind of like how would I describe it? Like a burnt sienna color, really light sort of, like sunset color, and the Just My Luck palette. And I have to say the Just My Luck palette is, I got so many compliments when I shared an Instagram post with every look I've done with this so far. I'm so excited. I'm going to use this as a companion to my Jelly Much shadow from the Sweet Talk collection called Photosynthesis, like sister, which is super cute. And this Creme Luxe lipstick, like I said, it's this beautiful kind of orangey color, but it translates a little bit more like dusty rose on the lips, at least on me, and we'll get to that. Everything else that I'm going to use on my face I'm going to put in the description box below, and tell me what you think about my super extra earrings. Quick housekeeping note, if you can hear voices in the background, I'm really sorry. My neighbors are, for some reason, choosing Easter Sunday to just be weird. And I feel like Teresa is Dead, where she's like constantly, where she's like, her neighbors are just always being loud and obnoxious. I feel like that's my life today. So anyways, let's get into it. So the first thing I always do is go ahead and prime my eyes. So I've already done all of my moisturizer, all of my sunscreen, and I haven't done any primer yet because I usually like to do that right before I do my base products, so I might just cut that out of the video. But, so I always use the Luscious Angel Eyes Primer. I love this stuff. I got this in a BoxyCharm in, I think, October or November. Or could have been September, I'm not sure, but it was many months ago, and I don't think I've even made a dent in this. You just need the tiniest amount of product. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see a little bit better. I think we have finally got the settings correct. So I am going to go ahead and prime my eyes. I've got my little stand-up mirror here to the left, so if I'm looking off camera, that's what I'm doing. And I just really hope that you guys are having a fantastic Easter or Passover or whatever you are celebrating, or if you're just celebrating the weekend. I'm super excited for you. I hope that you have a wonderful, relaxing Sunday, and I'd love to know what it is that you are. I'm filming this on Easter Sunday, and I feel like I used to call myself a submarine Catholic, where I would surface at Christmas and Easter, and I kind of haven't even done that in the past few years. And I have just like various reasons. I'm not like super religious. I was baptized Catholic, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not really crazy religious. Well, I don't think it's crazy to be religious, honestly, but I just am not somebody who goes to church. And I feel like it's really generational about whether or not you go to church. I know a lot of my friends my age just, oh, gross, I have a hair in there. It was my hair, but, so I have a lot of friends my age who don't go to church, and I feel like it's a really generational thing. And so I want to know, do you guys go to church? And if you do you find it like really, is it something that you do like as a family, or is it something that you continue to do, you know, whether it's church or synagogue or going to a mosque? I'm just really curious. So no judgment either way. Like I said, I don't, but I am going to use the Transitions shade Kiss My Haas, and I'm going to use probably the Act Natural shade for my crease color, and then we will use the Jelly Pop shadow for all over the lid. How does that sound? This is super pigmented. You don't need a ton of product. Actually, I think I put too much on. So you can see that it is, you just get color payoff right away, but there's not a lot of fallout. And you guys, I'm having so much trouble because I have lights on, and not only do I have lights on, but like I have my cell phone camera light on because I film on an iPhone 6, and it is so hard to like not look directly into the light, and then when you do, you just see like these like little like spotlights everywhere. I'm trying to figure out like how do you not do that? Like how do you not go blind filming? So if anybody has any suggestions, I would love to know what they are. Or maybe I shouldn't be filming with my camera light on. Let me know. And I'm terrible at like editing, at camera settings, all of that stuff. So if you are someone who is very talented at that, please let me know so that you can talk to me about how I can just make this channel better in terms of like editing. I look at like Teresa's Dead and just like Julia Mazzucato's channel where she does like GIFs, and she does like puts like memes in the middle of her video, and I'm like, I am not that talented. So is that something that you guys are interested in? Like, do you think we should zhuzh it up, or do you like maybe a more low-key style? I mean, I kind of like it when creators do both. I subscribe to both types of creators. It just depends on like what I'm in the mood for, you know? So I don't have a ton of things to do today. Honestly, after this, I'm just gonna go to the store and pick up some peanut butter and jelly because we're out, and I really want peanut butter and jelly, I'm not gonna lie. So, my husband's not, I mean, my husband will eat peanut butter and jelly, but he's not like a super fan of it the way that I am. I am sort of, I am really excited. I'm starting my new job. So I've done my transition shade. I'm gonna go in with my crease shade. Where is my color switch? I had a color switch. I don't know. Oh, I'm so good at this. Oh, so the other thing is, if you didn't know, the Just My Luck palette is a vegan eye palette. I cannot find any other vegan eye palettes except for this one, and I've heard a lot of people say that this is like the best quality eye palette Colourpop's come out with, which I think is awesome, because a lot of times people think that a lot of times people think that a vegan formula can't perform really well, and I think that this performs incredibly well. I'm not a makeup artist, of course. I'm just like a regular person, but I think I am a novice and a makeup enthusiast, but I do think that it is a fantastic formula, and I just love the shimmers in this palette. I don't need to wet my brush, and I think that that says everything, because you oftentimes do have to wet your brush to get full color payoff or to foil a shadow. I haven't had to foil any of these shadows. I haven't tried, so I'm kind of really interested what the lime green would look like. Maybe we should do that as an inner corner highlight, the lime green, like with some setting spray. Let's do that. Let's try that. I might regret it, but okay. So I've done my transition and my crease shade, and I used Act Natural as my crease shade and just kind of put it into the crease, and it's kind of a dark greeny color. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Colourpop shadow. Again, it's the Jelly Matte shadow in Photosynthesis, and it looks like these. So I really online thought this was going to be like a bright yellow color, like almost like a neon yellow. It's not. It's more of a goldy yellow color, and so you'll see what I mean in just a second. So I'm not disappointed, but it wasn't really what I was expecting. I am going to use a Luxie 221 flat definer. Am I going to use that? No, I'm not going to use this brush. I am going to use okay. I'm going to use this Almar flat sort of packing brush, and it's a very small kind of domed C brush. The reason is there's so much pigment just on the cap. There's so much product here. You only need to dip in a tiny, tiny bit. And so when I was doing this with the Wet n Wild eyeshadow, it was buildable. I don't know about this one, but we'll see. So I do like that it has, the packaging has like this little nub here that you can pull off. That was one of my, I got eyeshadow all over my finger. That was one of my complaints about the Wet n Wild packaging, was that it didn't have that little kind of pull tab, and so you have to kind of dig your finger in and get it. It's kind of messy. So let's see what kind of color payoff we get here. Shaping as I go and patting it into my eyelid into the shape that I want it to be. So until this dries down, you're not, I wouldn't try to buff it out until this dries down just a little bit, and then maybe do the transition. So see right here how we have this really harsh line. So I'm going to let this dry down for just a little bit, and then I'm going to buff it into the color and then kind of work the transition, and then I'm going to I'm going to darken up the V in this side. So the Wet n Wild one did take a little time to set, and so I'm kind of anticipating that this formula might also just take a little bit of time to set. Because I have more mature eyelids, I know it looks crazy that I'm talking to you with my eyes closed, but I can't like, I don't know about you, but I can't like open one eye, and like if I tried I would just open both eyes. I can't talk with like one eye open. I can't sleep with one eye open either. So I would just let this set for a little bit before going and trying to buff it out. And because I have more mature eyes, I want to make sure that my eyes are closed so that it doesn't crease. The Wet n Wild eyeshadow did not crease on me for like 14-15 hours. Like it actually didn't crease at all. I took it off and it wasn't creasy at all, which is really good because I have like mature eyelids, so I have more wrinkles, I have more creases, you know, everything. I'm gonna be 35 this year, so I'm getting to be, I mean, I am middle-aged basically, so I'm in my mid-30s, and I really appreciate that that eyeshadow didn't crease at all, so I'm hoping that this one's gonna be like that too. Okay, I think we can go ahead and try to buff this out just a little bit. So I'm going to take the brush that came in one of my Naked palettes and use this end. I'm kind of sad because I've washed this a few times and it's sort of not working out great. So I'm going to go ahead and try to blend this in to the crease color. And it is actually blending in really well. I don't know if you can see that, but it is blending up into this color. I'm just going to take a tiny bit of Kiss My Ass and blend it back in. Now, if you are someone who is new to blending eyeshadow, a trick that you can use is to take a brush that has no color on it whatsoever and just kind of blend it up into your crease, and then kind of blend up and then blend in. That's a technique that I have seen work, because the blending this up into the crease and then taking some of this pigment and then blending it back down into here has worked pretty well for me. But I'm not a makeup artist, I could be totally wrong. So if I'm wrong, please tell me. I said we should try the Mary Jane color on the, so the Mary Jane color is like this lime green color on the inner corner, and I feel like it might not show up on this yellow, but let's just try it, see what happens. It's very pigmented, so. So I feel like it just sort of gets lost in this yellow color. I don't really think it shows up very well. I think it's just one of those things that will not really even in person, so on camera, I don't think this is going to show up at all, but even in person, you can't really tell the difference between. So I did the rest of my makeup off camera. I did the other eye look and my base makeup, and everything will be linked down below. Everything will be linked down below if you're interested. If not, totally cool. So the next new thing I'm going to try is this, the cream lipstick called Seven Springs from Colourpop. It's their cream, I think it's their deluxe cream formula. It's really cute. The packaging's kind of this coppery rose gold colored with little stars on it. I think it's super cute. And it's kind of weighted, it's heavy, it doesn't feel cheap at all. I am going to use a liner with this. I'm going to use the Stila Stay All Day Lip Liner in Pink Moscato, just because I'm trying to use it up. This color is really too, it's too nude. It's too nude. It's too nude for my complexion. How did I get, I don't understand how I got stuff inside my palette. I don't know. So I'm just lining my lips because sometimes on me, cream formulas kind of run everywhere. This one doesn't really tend to do that, but I think there's just something about my lips that are like really small that makes it hard for a bullet lipstick to, it makes it hard for me to apply a bullet lipstick when it's kind of this big. But this also has the really pretty star. You get a lot of products, so this really pretty star embossing on the actual bullet itself. So let's see what this looks like. So it is this really beautiful sort of peachy sienna color. The lip liner is making it a little bit lighter than it normally would be, but like I said, my lips are so weird. Like whenever I put a cream lipstick on, I have really dry lips, and so I've been trying to like moisturize for the past couple of days, but even with this cream lipstick that is very moisturizing, I think on normal people who don't have super like desert dry lips, I feel like this would be much smoother. On me, it does kind of cling to dry patches, but again, it's not really fair because my lips are like incredibly dry. But like I said, I've been like moisturizing and doing all this stuff. I don't know why I'm just having this episode of like crazy Sahara Desert lips. But overall, I think that the color is beautiful and just, it reminds me of the Hannah Louise Poston has like this Tom Ford Indian summer kind of color, and it's really pretty. I'll swatch this for you. I don't know if it would be a dupe for it, but this is a really pretty sort of pinky, peachy, like with brown undertone sort of color, and it's one of, I saw that color on her channel and I was like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful, but I'm just not gonna buy a $35, $45, $50 Tom Ford lipstick. And I saw this on the Colourpop website and I was like, oh, it really reminds me of that color. And it does, it is a little bit different. It's a little bit more corally than that one. And the other one, the Tom Ford one, I think is a little bit more red. But I think this is beautiful. To me, I would have called this like an orange blossom color or something like that with the, I would say the lip liner, even though this is pink, doesn't really change the color that much. But it's not so orange that it's off-putting, like it's not neon orange. I wouldn't mind even going like just slightly more fiery orange. I think that that would look good against my skin tone, especially when I have a tan. I really like that color. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Just My Luck palette, and have you tried any of the Colourpop Sweet Talk collection, like the jelly shadows or any of the cream lipsticks? And if you did, what did you think about them? Lovelies, thanks so much for joining me today, and I cannot wait to see you again. Bye!